Hello guys, and welcome back to Flow State, episode 29 again. And we're back into a bit of a rhythm now. It's been the second week in a row. Both of the boys are here. We're feeling good. We're ready for a chat. In fact, I'm on a public holiday at the moment, so I've had the day off work. Normally I'm coming fresh off the back of a work day, feeling a little bit dusty, but I'm feeling pretty fired up today. And I'm hoping there's a little birdie who told me that we might actually have some more running content to talk to you about today, because we are well aware that over the past few weeks this is gradually becoming a football podcast, and I appreciate that not everyone is super into football, which is fair enough. So we'll give you some more running today. But look, first things first, we've got the blinds closed today, Adam, by the looks of it. So yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you what the weather's like, but I'm not sure in fact.
I don't, to be honest. 10 minutes ago I rolled out of bed, so I haven't a clue, to be quite honest. I got a nice good morning from your son Casper when we jumped on, which was lovely. But no idea what the weather's doing. Saying that, the weather has been fantastic this week. It has been a week of crystal clear skies and sunshine. And yes, the temperature's dropped a bit, but it's been a lethal week of weather here in Ireland. So very lucky. The weather that you just want to be outside, like whether you're out walking or out running, strangely enough, or whatever. It's been class. I even got the grass cut this week, so that's a plus.
You've got a big lawn. Have you got like a front and a back jobby going on, or just a little?
I do have a front and a back, but it's a front and a back patch, so it takes probably all of about 20 minutes to do both.
Mate, that's all the better, mate.
Yeah, it's perfect. So I grew up having to cut the grass at home, so it's nice, which did take a long time. Took a few hours.
Did you get paid for it? Did you get any pocket money for it? $5?
No, it didn't, miss.
No? What?
No, you just get out there and you just do the thing, and it's like, I just remember my dad. It was more like a go cut the grass, and if it didn't suit you, if you were doing something else, like it wouldn't have been too good. It wouldn't have went down too well, you know. The grass needed cut, and that was just it. So, yeah, it's nice to have not too much to look after. But that's the story. Hopefully the weather's as nice as it has been this week today. Meeting a cousin for hopefully a run and a bite to eat this afternoon. So hopefully the weather's decent today, but no idea what it's doing now. What about you, mate? How's things?
Things are, things good. Things good. What's weather doing at the moment? I'm just thinking about it. It's been very up and down. So you can tell that the overarching theme is that we're getting closer to summer. So like, as you can see, in fact, today's actually been very up and down, because it's been like sunny. 10 minutes later it looks like it's going to piss it down. 10 minutes later it's sunny, but it's definitely mild. Like today's been about 20 degrees, and you can walk around in a t-shirt and actually be okay. And it does make for a little bit easier getting outside for runs, because I've done my usual 3 this week, and it's just been that little bit easier getting out when it's, again, I don't mind if it's overcast, even if it's raining a bit, but if it's freezing cold, that always plays on the mind. I'm just like, don't really fancy even just the process of getting warmed up. I know not everyone's warm up people, but for me, I do like a little warm up routine, and if I'm cold during my warm up routine, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. I just find it, because I'm relatively lean, I find it just so hard to actually get warm. So it doesn't happen until I'm actually out on the road running. So that process of warming up and just feeling a bit stiff is horrible. But this week's been pretty okay today. So I can't complain. I reckon we're probably about a month away from starting to get those kind of like mid to high 20 degree days more on the reg. So very much looking forward to that. And I even put on my Factor 50 moisturizer today, and I thought of you. I was like, I've got to do it. I'm gonna crack it out, protect the skin, look good. Just made me like properly shiny, and I think it's kind of worn off a little bit, but you can kind of still see it.
You look well, mate.
I do. I've got like a healthy glow, but I look a bit shiny. So maybe I'll need to find another one. And my hair, desperate need of a trim. But yeah,
I think you're looking great, man.
Thank you, man. Too kind. I don't deserve this kind of treatment. But look, I want to start us off. I want to hear about some training, mate, because I was there. What day? It would have been Monday morning my time. I'm flicking through Instagram, and all of a sudden I see a video of Adam or even a picture of you in the corral for a little race. Tell me about that.
Yep. Yeah, I done Belfast Half Marathon last Sunday for nothing but fun. It was great. Just decided to go down there. Had played a game Saturday and felt great on Saturday evening, Sunday morning. Like my body wasn't too beaten up.
Full 90 minutes on Saturday?
No,
Okay.
I played about 40 minutes. So slowly but surely, that was first team as well. So slowly but surely,
Fantastic.
we're climbing the ladder. Fingers crossed.
Mhm.
Yeah, enjoyed it. We won 10-0, so we absolutely destroyed a team.
Did you score? Did you get?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
damn.
To be fair, we have like a very good going forward. We're very strong, and like there's probably 5 lads that were playing ahead of me, so I was kind of just. I'll be honest, like my role on Saturday when I came on, I didn't have to do very much. Even in the middle of the park, like that's probably why I felt so good on Sunday to go and run the half marathon, because
Almost sitting just in front of the centre backs, kind of.
yeah, it wasn't that kind of box to box.
Yeah.
We dominated possession, so we weren't doing a lot of like running off the ball. It was relatively easy. So Sunday then I was able to go and run the half marathon, have a bit of fun. Whereas like the Saturday before, when I played the 90 minutes for the reserves and we drew one each, I could not have ran on the Sunday morning because I was cooked from just running around for that full game. So that was.
I know this is a really early interruption, and I really want to hear about the half. But one question, and this is something that I was thinking about. Obviously, with you coming from such a high volume, or relatively for us kind of hobby joggers, like a really high volume of running, would you get off? Like, obviously, the obvious one would be, if you're kind of there, ready to do a match, fit for a match, and then don't get any time. But even like last Saturday where you did the 40 minutes, do you reckon there's part of you that's like, man, I feel like I've just wasted loads of energy? And do you feel like the half was almost an opportunity to go, do you just want to do something? Because I feel like a bit wasted.
Not really.
Otherwise.
Not really. Not at the minute, because like I've just gone from the reserve team into the first team, so it's kind of like a process. If it was 6 months down the line, maybe, because I am kind of more competitive with myself as much as anything. But not at the minute. No, I'm really enjoying kind of where it's going. Like I don't just expect to go from playing with the reserves to playing with the first team for 90 minutes when all those lads have been playing together for the last like sort of I came in right at the very end of pre-season. So like the last session of pre-season was my first session. So it's kind of like I need more time. So not really. I was actually really happy to play 40 minutes and then just chill Saturday evening. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to get up on Sunday morning and head off down to the half marathon. So it was a really nice weekend, actually. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. I think I was coming from more of just like a training standpoint, as in like, would you be there going, I got 40 minutes, but I kind of just wanted to like physically do a little bit more, like run?
So probably that's actually, yeah, I've got you. So in the past, yes, I would have had that attitude. Now I think I'm very much in the camp, and I'm actually delighted that I have this sort of mindset now that, listen, it's just a day and tomorrow will come and you can go and do some more training or whatever tomorrow. Before I'd have been like, oh my goodness, that's a day of training or a day of potential training wasted.
Yeah.
Now, whether I take a rest day or take like a day where, let's just say, I don't play any football, because there was a couple of weeks where I went with the first and didn't get a game. Previously I would have been like, oh my god, that's a day away, that's a day just wasted, that's a day of training, like our potential training. Now I'm just like, it's water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Sunday will come and Monday will come and Tuesday will come, and that's plenty time to do what you like. So I'm just happy to be involved in the football and everything else. So no, I feel absolutely fine about it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that was Saturday into Sunday. Went down to Belfast, ran the half marathon. Beautiful morning, like sunshine. I was, I just got up. I didn't even make the decision to go until I got up on Sunday morning, because I didn't even set an alarm Saturday night. I was just like, I'm going to bed and hopefully, like, I wake early as usual, and I'll head down to Belfast Half. And didn't even mention to Kira that I was going, so just got up, threw on me, drove down to Belfast, 25 minutes down the road, parked up, jogged at the start, straight in, which was lovely because I was driving down the road like quite excited, as opposed to like that nervous energy that you feel when you're going to race and you're going to race hard.
Pressure almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like I was just going down for nothing but enjoyment, and that was a really nice shift in kind of my mindset. Got to the start line, jumped over the barrier, got in just beside like the 90-minute pacer. Just happened to be where I jumped in, and I actually got in beside a good friend of mine, Michael, that I've been coaching for like 5 years. He's probably my longest term client, actually, and really he's become a really good friend. So jumped in beside him. We got off. He also had a really good race. Just want to give him a shout out. He had a really strong run. But jumped over, got in, started running with Michael. Probably ran the first 4 or 5 mile with the 90-minute pacer, and then I just steadily sort of moved on, just on nothing but feeling. Like I had no lap splits on my watch. I had no auto lap on, and just was literally out having a fun run, smiling my face the whole way around, giving a thumbs up to all the photographers. And I ended up finishing just a shade under 121, so I actually ended up clipping on pretty quickly. And my watch is finally.
It's funny again to interrupt. It's like my PB is like 122, and this dickhead's just gone and fun runned it at 121. Oh mate, I'm gonna sign off. See you later, guys.
So you know what, mate? I had an absolute ball. I had a brilliant time out there. Belfast's a brilliant course. Don't know if it's the best course for actually racing, but it's a really good course for just running, because there's a lot of variation in it. And yeah, it was like 1:20:58 or something on the chip, but loved every minute of it. And then now that my watch has actually started playing ball again, I've actually managed to get my watch. I had to reset everything. My watch is now syncing to Garmin Connect, and my activities are now working again. I was able to see my splits because they only show up when I look at them on Strava, because Garmin, because I had auto lap off, just shows it as one big activity.
Yeah.
And just your average pace for the full activity. So I ended up finishing a last couple of miles in like 5:40, which in Ks I think is about 3:30
something. Yeah.
Was actually moving nicely towards the end, and all has not been lost on a fitness point. Again, not that I'm bothered, because that's kind of not the goal right now. But listen, I had a brilliant morning out. Took myself from the finish line, literally just finished, got my medal, ran round the barrier, and just ran straight back to my car. Grabbed a quick coffee and slice of banana bread, and I was back up the road for like shortly after 11 o'clock. So perfect morning in Belfast on Sunday.
I think that's what I was a little bit. I mean, I was just jealous seeing you being able to rock up to a half, but even just hearing it from someone that, again, I love racing, but I think a lot of it is just like loving the event and loving just going and running a distance with being around the energy. And it's not jealousy, but it's just like, man, I can't wait to get to that point, because I think that's maybe something that a lot of us can take something from. It's just like not even treating it as a training run, but just going and enjoying a running event because you can. Like, if you know you're ready to do the distance, like 21 for a lot of longer like distance runners, especially like people that have done marathon training, isn't heaps, right? It's to use your phrase, it's water off a duck's back. So it's just like, man, that sounds like such good fun, especially on those days where you just kind of, you don't have to worry about stressing the day before or watching what you eat. You just kind of, you go, oh, okay, I'm waking up, I'm feeling pretty good, get to the start line, go for a 21K, have some banana bread and whatever, and then go home. Like, man, that's gravy.
Yeah. Well, I had a cup of coffee and a banana and 4 Jaffa cakes in the car on the way to Belfast. So like, I didn't have the porridge 3 hours before. I didn't have,
gel.
None of that.
You didn't take a gel during?
I think we actually I think we actually had steak the night before for dinner too, which I would never have
heavy.
whenever which I would never have, pre-race, because it's like you say, it's heavy, it's hard to digest. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then Sunday afternoon, we actually were back in Belfast, so came home, got some breakfast with Kira, and then we were down in Belfast for a concert on Sunday afternoon. But we went down pretty early. Had a bite to eat, a few pints, and into the concert. So we had it was a great Sunday. It was a super Sunday. All helped by Liverpool being red.
Yeah, I was going to say, as soon as you say Super Sunday, my head just goes straight to football still.
Well, it was Saturday, to be fair, when we beat Everton, but yeah, Super Sunday.
Well, I'm thinking I did watch the fuck, we're on football already. Shit, I was going to say I did watch the highlights, and
50% of people have just tuned off.
I know, sorry guys, bear with us. Might I just add, if you're not a football person and you want to know the definition, so on last week's episode, Adam and I were talking about a player called Ryan Gravenbach, and he scored a goal which I was trying to explain to Nicole, my partner, that why I was losing my shit so much. And again, I'm not a Liverpool fan. Frankly, I don't like Liverpool. I'm Chelsea. But I was watching this goal on repeat because I was like, that is artistry. Like the way he's following with the motion of the ball and it's coming from behind him. I was like, oh my God, that is... Oh,
he kind of reminds me of like Prime Zidane.
Yeah, I can see it.
He just glides around. The skill level is sensational. Mm-hmm. The way he took that goal was something else, and he just has that bit of bite in him as well.
Yeah,
do you know, like those duels in the middle of the pitch?
It's the Dutch coming out, isn't it?
But are Dutch nasty? They're really not.
I think they can be battlers. Honestly, like you go back. Was it the Spain final in the Euros? Probably 2012.
Yeah, they came out all guns blazing. That was the only way they were ever going to beat them.
I think they've got it in them because they've got a bit of a chip on their shoulder. 100%. Especially since like total football, the Dutch way of football's kind of gone out the window a little bit. I think they're like, we need to play a little bit rough.
Gravenberch is just out of this world good. He is unbelievable. But yeah, I'm replaying that goal in my head that he scored because the way he took it over his shoulder, it was just unbelievable.
I think for me that could go down as potential for goal of the season purely on technique alone. Like again,
I don't think people realize how hard it is to do what he did.
Yeah, like aside, obviously you get the team goals and there's like 50 passes, and then it's like a typical Arsenal style goal. You get the thunder. I won't say the second words, but the thunders where they just hit it from 40 yards and it goes in. We all love that, but in terms of actual technique, like this was like absolute gravy, and I do recommend anyone go watch the highlights from Liverpool Everton from last weekend.
Get match today on.
It's on Stan here in is it Stan? Yeah, Stan here in Australia. So
Optus. I used to watch it in Optus.
Yeah, they got rid of it. Literally everything's on Stan now. The whole everything. Champions League.
Everything.
Bought everything. But look,
I want to give. Sorry, mate. I want to give a shout out. I'm just going to jump back to Belfast Half for a sec. I want to give a shout out to Andrew McRae, who bumped into me at the finish line and introduced himself to me as a listener of the podcast. He's been listening for quite a while,
mate.
So that was really nice. And I just want to give him a shout out because he ran a PB of 1:16 or 76 minutes.
Did you repost that on Instagram by any chance, or did I?
I can't even remember.
Andrew might have. If I follow you, you might have posted it because I think I remember.
So
yeah, go on.
So I didn't put two and two together. Basically, whenever he said hello, Andrew actually does a bit of running coaching himself, and he took well over a minute off his previous half marathon time, which was cracking run, because Belfast, like I say, is a good course, but it's not the fastest course I've ran. There are quite a few twists and turns. There are a few hills. Granted, you get them back at the other side, but I wouldn't say it's the fastest course in the world. So good on Andrew. I think he may have finished... I hope I don't butcher this, but he may have finished 13th. So a really stellar runner who's clearly putting in the work and getting the results. But just wanted to give him a quick mention because he was very kind enough to tell me that he really enjoyed our podcast.
Andrew, man, thank you so much.
Good on you.
That means the world, man, and well done on the run. That is cracking. We'll keep an eye on progress because what 1:16 as well. That's pretty rapid, frankly, isn't it? So
Yeah, he's
yeah,
flying. He's absolutely
brilliant,
flying it. He's actually
brilliant.
he was sponsored by Puma for the London Marathon this year.
No kidding.
Puma did like I think it was called a Project 3 thing, and Andrew was part of that, so he got all his kit sponsored,
Oh, how
and
good.
I don't know what else was included in that, whether he
Yeah.
got his trip sponsored or whatever. But I
Mm.
actually think he may have won some money out of that. Again, hope I haven't butchered this, but he may have won. Maybe Andrew can tell me what the crack is with that. But I think he PB'd and might have won some cash.
I think they love that, didn't they? Athletes, even if you don't like get the best time in the world, if you're sponsored and you get a PB, you get some because that I think the races. Correct me if I'm wrong. Races like it when runners PB on their course because it looks good on the course and put more people there, thus likely to sign up. So it would make sense that you get a little bit of cash for doing a
London
PB.
Marathon definitely don't need any more people
Yeah,
to
true.
sign up for their event.
Yeah, true. They're trying to
But
get
no.
rid of people.
Yeah. So that was the weekend. That was Sunday. What did I do last Friday after we spoke? I think I did a bit of recovery stuff last Friday, and like as I sort of graduated into the weekend. Yeah, I did actually. I did a bit of gym work. A bit on the bike, a bit on the treadmill. I think I just did like about an hour of sort of easy conditioning. Then I had Sunday, which was about 16 mile all up, including like my jog from the car to the start and back. Monday, I seem to have rested, but I'm pretty sure I was in the gym doing like my prehab
Mhm.
and also may have just jumped on like the spin bike for just a flush. And I think I got out for a walk as well on Monday, if we're counting walking as some movement or activity. Tuesday then, I actually did a really good threshold session on Tuesday. Really fancied doing a treadmill threshold, so my body felt great. Like my body
Mhm.
pulled up so well from the weekend, which I was delighted about, and touch wood, it continues that way. Like I mentioned last week, I do feel like the body's just adapting to this sort of new training ways and new training load. And I'm still doing plenty of hours. Like I'm still putting in
Mm.
plenty of hours of training, whether it's like strength from the prehab stuff or conditioning work, or training with football. I did 10-minute warm up, and then I went into 4 times 5 minutes on, 1 minute off, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off. So essentially like 4 times 8 minutes of total threshold. So it's 32 minutes of threshold.
Yep. Yep.
And I was getting faster in the 3-minute efforts. So kind of started around, for the 5-minute effort, started around like 5:55 per mile. For the 3-minute effort, started around 5:45 per mile and progressed those on. So was just keeping an eye on my heart rate because I kind of know where the threshold lies, and kept it below lactate threshold. So I think that the 5-minute efforts I progressed to about 5:42 per mile, and the 3-minute efforts to about 5:27 per mile ish. So it was moving, and felt really good. Felt like I was popping along. It's great to not have that like high mileage fatigue in the legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the fitness isn't as high, but you feel like when I'm running those sessions, like I'm just bouncing. Loads of energy in the body. And then Wednesday, got out for a 10-mile sort of steady run. Ended up running like 6:20 per mile, so it was moving again. Like I would never be running that pace on an easy day when I'm in the middle of high mileage. So it was fun to just go out and have a nice clip at a nice steady pace. So it's 10 mile or 16 Ks. And then Wednesday night, because again, wanted to get out because the weather was just class. Wednesday night, we had the social run. We had 2 years of social
yeah.
run this week, which was class. So we
Good
had Hoka
turnout
come
by the
along.
looks of it as well. Some
Yeah,
pizza.
massive turnout.
Oof.
Mate, anytime you mention pizza, people just flock, don't they?
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah, I had a word with him actually after. I said it would be great to see some of you guys that are here tonight that aren't our usual clientele.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see some of you here during the winter, during the dark,
A few red
during the dark
cheeks after
nights,
that comment. Yeah.
when we aren't giving away a pizza and raffling off some free Hoka shoes. But no, I was just joking. you mentioned pizza, or you have some shoe company down. The crowds always flock. So listen, we had a brilliant night actually. Um, it was good vibes all around, and came away, yeah, just buzzing from that. Because there is such a great community there now. There's a great bunch of people that come regularly, and it was just, yeah, it was great. It was great. Hannah from Hoka was brilliant as well, and everyone got to try on the new Mac X. I want to say Mac X 3,
Mm-hmm.
which seems like a brilliant shoe. I didn't put it on because they didn't have that many pairs, and I'm like a 9, which every man tends to be.
Yeah. Which color? Did
So,
you get the white and red numbers or
oh no, they were pink and luminous
pink?
yellow.
Yeah, they're a bit much
They're
in the
class.
pink. I don't
No,
know.
mate, they're actually lovely. I really like them.
What, the
In
color?
person, they're lovely.
Okay, fair. All right.
Yeah,
I could
the yellow,
vibe with the whites, I'll be honest.
the yellow is really nice as well. Can you see
Oh,
the pink?
I
Oh, it
can see
seems
the
to be
pink.
the pink's a women's style actually. That pink is the color I would go for if I was buying them.
I can to be honest, I can see you wearing the pink. I reckon you'd pull it off nicely.
What are you trying to say, mate?
No, I'm saying you pull it off wonderfully.
They're actually a lovely shoe, but I didn't get wearing them because, yeah, I wanted the punters to have a chance to wear them. But I did wear. Hannah had a pair of the new Hoka Clifton, or the latest Hoka Clifton, which was my OG mileage shoe.
I
That
remember.
was the shoe that I used to buy when I started running. I've had like 7 pairs of Hoka Cliftons, and it got to a stage where it got to one of the models where I was like, I'm not wearing this shoe anymore because I just didn't like it. They changed something, but that was the first Hoka Clifton I've put on in a few years and loved it. So might have to get myself a pair of Hoka Cliftons for some miles.
Was it Hannah from? You said it was from Hoka. What was her name? Sorry.
Hannah?
Yeah.
Hannah.
Is she a plug? Is she getting you discounts, or is it?
I don't
not?
think so, unfortunately.
Damn! Come on, Hannah.
No,
Come on.
I know.
We
Any
give you
discount
all
codes?
these nice shout outs, like admiring your colorways. Come on. What can you? Even a 5% would go a long way. No, fair enough.
So-
fair enough.
So I wore the Hoka Clifton, felt great, and yeah, we had our pizza and everything else afterwards. So that was a brilliant night for social run. So that actually ended up being a big enough couple of days, because Tuesday threshold, then I trained football Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I had sort of 10 miles steady in the morning, social run in the evening. Plus I did like my prehab in there and stuff, which does take up a bit of time. Like I do spend about
Yeah,
45 minutes doing that, and yeah, it doesn't really tax the body too much, but it does take up a bit of time, and I am sort of counting that in terms of training hours. So yesterday I didn't run. I did like I got into the gym and did 30 to 40 minutes of prehab plus a 30-minute spin. Just flush the legs, like really low intensity, low power output, just to kind of, like I say, flush the legs out. And then training last night with the lads. So we have a game on Saturday, so I'll not do too much today. An easy jog with my cousin and a bite to eat, and then see how the weekend goes.
Very nice, mate. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm like, man, this is like a perfect training week, even just like getting out for the social run and whatnot. But you're kind of enjoying things at the moment. You're kind of having where things want to be, I guess, in terms of
Yeah.
fitness levels and
Yeah,
how-
I'm not too I'm not too fussed about fitness levels. I know if I do a little bit of maintenance, like the engine isn't really going to go too far. And I'm really just maintaining that because I want it to be there for football, as opposed to like just maintaining it for the sake of maintaining it. I still want to be fit when I play football. I want to get a bit sharper. You know, I kind of want to get a bit more explosive, a bit more powerful. So I'll probably maybe introduce a little bit of that work over the next few weeks. Hesitant to sort of introduce too much all at once. So body has kind of adapted now to the training. Obviously the games come with a very unpredictable amount of like fatigue /
Yep.
soreness.
Mhm.
Like as I said, 2 weeks ago I was in the bin for a couple of days after. Like I wasn't even fully recovered when we got back to training on Tuesday night from
Yeah,
a Saturday
yeah.
match. Whereas this week I felt fully recovered like Saturday night / Sunday morning. So that variability uh, previously probably would have really bothered me, because I'd have been like, oh, I can't really do anything now Monday. Whereas now I'm just like rolling with it, and
Mhm.
really sort of just enjoying that. So yeah, it's all good.
Almost sounds like fun to tinker around with it, to be honest, and like and play it as it comes. But one thing I was thinking is you're right. I guess when I think from your perspective, you've got the engine. The engine's not going anywhere. So it's going to take a long time to lose that. But the one thing that we miss in terms of being endurance athletes is that explosive, like very very short, sharp work. Problem is, if you that's the kind of work that is done in the off season when you don't have too much stimulus, because it's like when I was talking to, again, always, I work in a gym, so a lot of my conversations around running end up kind of coinciding with gym training. It's like if you're racing, you can't really just then go and add strength work like 2 days in the gym, because all of a sudden you're adding this like novel stimulus, and it's like you can't really adapt to that if you're already giving yourself a ton of mileage. And it's like this stuff should really come in the off season. But I'm just thinking, is if there's a way of like sprinkling it in maybe once a week slowly, and then just gradually getting yourself up to a
Yeah,
tolerable amount.
and that's it. You don't have to do it like every day, or you don't have to do 4 or 5 of those sessions a week. One is enough. It just might take a little bit longer to gain it, but that's fine, because you're trying to play and you're trying to do everything else. But I also think playing matches helps.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
just that just match fitness, because what you also have to remember is you have to be able to access that explosiveness under fatigue if you're going to do it in a game, and you really can't replicate that like in training. So I'm a big advocate of, like, yes, it's great to be fast. It's great to have that, like, whether it's sharpness or top end speed or explosiveness, whatever you want to think about it or talk about it. But I think a lot of like people playing amateur football, for example, like can't access that explosiveness because they just don't have the engine nearly, because they're absolutely
Yeah.
dead on their feet come the
Mhm.
time of the game to maybe do or make a, you know what I'm trying to say.
I get you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, listen, it's just like take it day by day and week by week, and just enjoy it is kind of the way I'm looking at it. um I definitely do think, though, you can just add it in here and there. But I suppose the other point that I wanted to make was actually, on the engine, and this is really important for runners as well. Um, and I was actually talking to this about it. I met an old friend of mine, sorry, that used to be a coach when I was CrossFitting. I met him during the week. We were chatting about training and running and weightlifting and everything else. And Jake, shout out to him, is one of the best coaches that I've ever actually worked with in person. He was
Mhm.
a CrossFit coach. He still is. And we were chatting about how gains that take a long time to get, so aerobic fitness that we try to build as runners and as athletes, whether it's like improved lactate threshold or like aerobic base, those adaptations that take a long time to gain, they don't just go away overnight.
Mhm.
They don't just atrophy overnight. Um, they're worth putting in the long term work for, because yeah, like I said, they just don't go away. And like when I do return to training for marathons, a lot of that aerobic base will still be there. It doesn't just leave you.
Mm.
They're long term adaptations, whereas it's the top end stuff that you probably want to keep in touch with a little bit more, because that
Mhm.
stuff does atrophy if you don't do it.
Yep.
Um,
Just
so
just a point on that as well, and that is why I think that things like strides, hill strides, faster strides, you if you I'm trying to what's the best way of me starting this kind of bit? Well, because I was talking about injuries with physio, and because I always talk about injuries, funnily enough, he's a physio, right? We were talking about how we can like prevent injury or do as much as we can. It's like if you have a week of slow runs and for whatever reason can't get any quality work in there, you will lose the ability to turn the legs over that quick. That's why strides are a thing. Even just kind of like touching, like caressing those faster paces once a week will help to maintain it. But if you have a week where, let's just say you're not feeling great and for whatever reason you skip your strides, if you then the next week go back into some faster work, the risk of injury occurrence has gone up by a fair bit because the tissues just aren't ready. They don't have that I guess tolerance. So it really is something that can be lost and gained within a week. But again, that's what it comes down to,
100%.
is it can be gained back very quickly. It's just that you need to be careful with how you go about regaining it. So if you miss a week of doing something, you can't just go back into doing the same thing a week later. You might have to like go back in at 50, 60, 70% for a lower volume and then kind of taper it up slowly. Otherwise you do risk injury. So something
Absolutely
to think
no
about
doubt,
there.
mate. No doubt about it. In fact, on the check-in form that I made for the athletes that I coach, one of the questions is, did you do your strides this week? Like, because, and there probably only is like 10 questions, and one of them is like, what's your name? How, like, a lot of them are
Easy.
quite objective. Yeah, but that is one of the really important questions for me,
Yep.
because I can see their adherence to their overall training, if they're doing the
Yeah.
sessions and so on. But one of the big things that I want to know is, are you doing your strides and are you doing your hills if prescribed? Because they're such a low cost, high impact activity, and I think a lot of runners would skip them if they
Mm,
could, because it's like, oh, why should I bother doing those like little 20-second efforts? They're a bit naff, but
mm.
yeah, they're so important for staying in touch with
Very valuable. Yep.
little bit of speed, getting your legs turning over. I remember hearing a stat about people over the age of 30 that will never sprint again in their lives. Now, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
strides aren't sprints, they're controlled and they are supposed to be in a sort of more relaxed manner. But I did hear a stat about people over the age of, I'm pretty sure it was 30. A huge percentage of people over the age of 30 would never sprint again in their lives.
It's not
And I
surprising,
was like,
really.
it isn't, but I was like, that's kind of scary, isn't it?
There's probably
Um,
quite a large percentage of people over 30 that will never run again, frankly. So,
yeah,
like,
100%.
yeah. So the takeaway from that is do your strides, guys, and answer your check-in form if you're one of Adam's clients, because it does matter. But look, we've been going for a little while. I might touch on my week because
I'd like to hear a little bit about your training, mate.
I've had quite an okay week. So I started off the back of, again, Saturday is always, going off of last Friday, Saturday is always my time to do a little bit of upper body training because I don't really count that as too strenuous, even though Saturday is typically my day off. I just do like 45 minutes to an hour. And fun fact, I've since stopping like the higher volume running, so if I'm doing about 30, just over 30k a week at the moment, down from about 80 to 90. I have gained, I reckon, about a kilo of weight since I've dropped down my volume. I wouldn't be surprised if quite a large portion of that is potentially muscle, because I'm noticing that now my upper body training has got better. And yes, don't get me wrong, there might be a small amount that's kind of glycogen, maybe even a little bit of fat, but I am confident that I've kind of retained or got back some of the muscle I had. So I'm feeling pretty jacked at the moment, man. I did the 26s for my dumbbell press. I'm flying, man. I'm flying. All
Go ahead,
64
lad.
64 kilos of me, man. Um,
Go ahead. And do you
I know,
reckon it's
man.
because you've just got more energy available?
I reckon just running is so taxing. I think I've also hypertrophied from the bike a little bit, because I'm tolerating the bike a lot more and I'm a lot stronger, physically stronger on the bike, not just aerobically, but in the legs. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit to do with that as well. But yeah, so did that on Saturday. That was quite good fun. Sunday, I always do my long rides. And what I was finding on Zwift is that I was choosing a course that was typically about 2 hours, but then I was going and finish it in like an hour and 20, an hour and a half, which I felt pretty good about, to be honest. But then last Sunday I was like, all right, I need to clearly shoot above because I want to be on the bike for about 2 hours. So I chose a 2.5 hour course, which was quite fun. Normally I just choose one with a big climb or maybe a couple of climbs in there, whereas this one was flatter overall, but it was kind of intermittent kind of uncategorized climbs if you were looking at kind of pro cycling. And that was really good fun because you could go a little bit faster knowing that the climbs weren't going to absolutely spend you. So I did about, I think it was an hour and 45 in the end. And then,
Tell me this, mate.
go on.
How are you looking after the backside when
Great. No, that is a wonderful question. So, I'm wearing Rafa bib shorts, and they are very, very well cushioned. Like they
are
are.
you using a bit of? Do you use chamois cream?
I do use Rafa chamois cream, and it smells divine. Like
For
Nicole doesn't
anyone that
like
doesn't
it.
know
Do you
what
want to
chamois
explain?
cream is, no, you can explain it, and you can explain how it's applied.
I will. I actually will because it's important for the people to know. So
Yeah, so
chamois.
anyone that's doing any cycling, this is an important piece. Public service announcement. This is an important piece of information, and you should take this on board. It will make a massive difference to your well-being.
It will. Pen and papers at the ready, guys. So, like, first off, when you're wearing cycling shorts, they're obviously padded around the arse and the gooch to prevent like what is going to be quite hideous bruising because the saddles are pretty aggressive. But there is also
Said padding,
set
chamois.
padding, chamois. Yes. There is this like really nice thick. It's like a thick moisturizer cream that you can apply directly to said area that was aforementioned, and it prevents chafing to the highest degree, and it leaves you feeling buttery smooth and smelling like sandalwood, and it is fantastic. I genuinely love the smell. Application's a little bit awkward, and to be honest, I don't think it was this week. A couple of weeks ago, I was caught literally with my pants down, applying chamois cream, trying to explain to the missus that look, this is just not what it looks like. It's lucky because one of the days I ride, my mother-in-law stays
Is it
with
fair to
us.
say that cream is applied to no man's land?
I'd say it's no man. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
Is that the best way to put it?
It's Death Valley, if you will. It is. And it's got to be applied by hand. There's no other way to do it. So you got to get in
But if
there.
you are a cyclist or if you are someone that uses a Zwift, a spin bike, a watt bike, whatever it is, a good pair of bib shorts, but
necessary.
Added chamois cream will change your life.
It will. Genuinely. So I had my chamois cream, and that's how I'm staying chafe free. And I'm pretty good on the saddle now. I can last a while. But yeah,
and a good bike fit makes a massive difference too.
Yeah, I'm self bike fitted, but I'm feeling quite a good in terms of where I'm producing force. And initially, I knew I was in the wrong spot because all I felt was quad. Whereas now I get a really nice balance between quad, hamstring, calf. So I know I'm probably the right height and the right positioning.
Yeah, just on that as well, I completely nailed my position this week.
Yeah,
I kind of like adjust on the fly. And I think I also adjust like as I become more flexible on the bike, do you know, to get into a little bit more maybe of an aggressive position sometimes. But I found the right position this week, and I was like, that's it. Doing it just feels great, and my backside didn't feel like it was taking too much load, but I was able to produce loads of force. Through my. Yeah. It was great.
You end up feeling like Remco Evenepoel. You know, he's got that really like aero position, even when he's like on the
his back's like this.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
I don't know how this. I really don't know how they. It's actually unbelievable the flexibility that they have to sit like that for so long when they are racing.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not going that far, especially not indoors where you don't need to be aero. Comfort's definitely what I'm after.
Comfort,
but
is key.
I got into a really nice position this week, and I've taken a photograph of it for my phone for reference every time I go in.
Can you send it? I genuinely want to see it.
It's just the saddle, mate. It's just I will send it.
I want to send a picture of you.
But it's not a picture of me on the bike. No. It's just a picture of like my saddle. I'll show you.
Oh, it's quite a nice looking bike. I know it's only the saddle, but I can see the one
behind.
They are. They're nice looking bikes.
They are good, and the handlebars are like proper. You feel like you're actually riding a bike, like a road bike. Do you know? You feel like you're on a road bike. You don't feel like you're on a indoor bike or a spin bike. And the saddle is like a proper saddle. Yeah, they are. They're decent. but it's pretty nice when you get into that position. But I'm not wearing bib tights on that because I'm not, or bib shorts, sorry, because I'm literally doing gym work and then jumping on the bike. So if I was on there for longer, I would like to. But honestly, if it's just a spin bike without Swift, I can't stay on it for much longer than 30 minutes at a time in a
Mhm.
gym. I'm just
Yeah,
getting so bored.
it's pretty dull if you've got nothing there to kind of keep you occupied, and you're indoors as well. Um, but yeah, that was my chamois story and my Sunday, and then so Monday, let's get into some running. I went out for my usual 10K and I decided to pop on. I don't know why I just haven't worn them. They've been like in a cupboard somewhere. I put on the on Cloud Eclipse, which I literally haven't worn in ages, and I came off the back of a really bad week last week with my heel. Like I was in a lot of pain for most of the week. And I went out for this run like pretty apprehensive off of that. And it ended up feeling really, really good. Like one of the best, like painless runs I've had in a while. And I was like just so pleasantly surprised. And I frankly I enjoyed the run because I wasn't like worrying too much about, oh, am I going to get like a pain very shortly, or just that low lying kind of discomfort all the way through. So that was fantastic. And I, as always, I did my lower body session in the gym as well. And I was the same as you with playing your football. Like when I first was doing these long Sunday rides, I was pulling up really sore on a Monday. Whereas now that I've done them repeatedly, and my legs know what it's like to kind of have quite a big climb in parts. Like I can go into a Monday, do 10K, do 45 minutes to an hour of leg training. Like I'm talking squats, hip thrusts, that kind of ish. Felt really good, and I felt pretty strong. Tuesday back on the bike, and now Tuesday and Friday are my quality bike sessions. And as you're doing, because I don't have any like major goals in mind, I basically switch up what I do. Like initially I was like, oh, I want to do a sweet spot session on Friday, and then I'll do some kind of VO2 max work. But now I'm just like, I'll do what I fancy doing on the day. So Tuesday I chose like a random, I don't know the exact intervals, but it was like it was quite challenging. It was quite a long one, but it was basically different efforts of quite high wattage, but they were kind of giving you experience. Like one is out the saddle, one is like all while keeping the same power. So you do one interval out the saddle, one at a low cadence focusing on torque, one on a high cadence. And that was actually a really, really quite difficult session, more so than I thought it would be, to the point where I was getting towards the end of it going like, fuck, what have I done to myself? I'm just trying to.
Was it like 1 minute sprints or something?
No, I'm just going back on my Strava to have a look. So it was called Orange Unicorn, if anyone's on Zwift and wants to look up the session. Trying to think if I've got it here. So it was basically like I think you're sitting at quite a high wattage for your offs, but then you go really high for the ons. But the problem is I think it was only like 1 minute of the super difficult stuff, but then you're going back down to what is quite a high.
1 minute is a long time if the intensity's high enough.
Yeah. And then that's the thing. The offs are
you weren't just resting or spinning the legs lightly. You were floating pretty fast.
Yeah. And it was those broken up into 4. So you do like 4 of those bits, and then between them you go back down to like
Mate,
1.
I have done one of my favorite sessions as a runner is 20 by 1 minute fartlek.
Yeah.
And like that's a bloody tough session.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it depends how fast you run it. Like it's not fast if you run the 1 minutes at like your marathon pace and the 1 minute off at a jog. But if you run those 1 minutes at like 5K pace, and even just jog the recovery, that's a tough session.
That's going to build.
That's a really tough session.
Fatigue builds.
It's a really, really tough session.
Yeah.
And anytime I prescribe it for one of my athletes, sometimes I prescribe it as like 10 by, 15 by, or 20 by if the athlete's a bit more experienced. I always tell them to be careful with it. Like, don't cook it early because that session will bite you.
Yeah.
Like, you could get to 10 reps and only be halfway through the session and not want to continue because you'll be absolutely fried. Because obviously with it being 1 minute of work at a time, you do feel like you can run a fair bit faster, and you can. But get it wrong and you're going to pay a hefty price. and
100%.
I've put myself into many a hole doing doing 1 minute efforts. Um, you can cook it fairly easily.
Oh, easily. I've just found it here. Yeah, I mean that was I mean I was going up to like 240 watts, which for my body weight was pretty high, and then my average ended up being 162 watts. So off the top of my head, I don't know my watts per kilo, but that is quite high. And it was a pretty spicy session. It was about an hour and a half as well. Um,
Nice.
yeah, coming off the back of that. So Wednesday's been my long run, or my midweek kind of longest run, I will say. And I've been doing like anywhere from kind of 10 to 12 and then finishing off on the elliptical if my heel was hurting. But then I went out, and this was about Wednesday lunchtime. And in the morning, I'd done like some just full body training, and I felt like maybe a little bit fatigued off the back of Tuesday, but my foot was feeling really good. Like I wasn't getting any major pain. I was in the cloud eclipse again, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go for 14 and just see how I get on, because typically 14 was what I was doing in the past. Um, and I, again, was actually okay. It was the longest run I've had in a while, which is like, again, it's not super long, but it's probably the longest run I've had in a couple of months. And my heel was okay. I don't want to say it was like painless, because there's always that underlying awareness of it. But I wasn't going, oh man, this is getting worse. I was like, oh, it's there if I really think about it. But I was just happy to get 14 in the legs for the first time in a long time. So felt good with that. And then Thursday was probably my lightest training day of the week, where I do 10K. That's it. No strides for
Nice.
me at the moment, I will say, because I just don't want to. I just don't want to risk picking up the pace, putting more pressure through it, and then suddenly making it worse, until I've seen the specialist about it. So literally just 10K.
Do you
Um,
have an appointment date?
yeah, 10th of October, I'm seeing an orthopedic surgeon just to get a second opinion about what the MRI came back with. Like, surgery's not necessarily on the cards. It's just this guy came highly recommended from listener and good friend of mine, Scott. Scott, shout out to you. He listens literally every week, and he is the man. And Grace as well. Grace, shout out to you too. So yeah, I'm seeing him in a couple of weeks' time, literally 2 weeks today, and then I will have a better idea of how we can manage it with the physio. But then Friday, today, in fact, public holiday here, so I've had the day off work. Normally, I'd come home from work and do a ride around lunchtime and be probably quite fatigued, because I come off the back of a full morning of clients usually, and then go straight into a ride, and then I get back on the laptop and finish my kind of work, and it's always a little bit stressful because I'm there on the bike getting work emails and stuff. Whereas today, I didn't feel the best waking up. I'm just a little bit fatigued and flat just from a big week. But then, like, as soon as I was on the bike, like early doors, I was grand, and I did a ride, or a workout called the long ride. Again, for anyone on Zwift, really really fun. This was basically more like a typical running workout. So you started off, you obviously do like your 10-minute warm up, then you go into some, I think they were 2 minute, 2 minute on, 1 minute off. Basically at threshold, or just above threshold. So 105% of FTP, just to get you fired up, get the pipes going, and then into 4 minute reps. So 4 minutes on at like climbing from just under FTP to FTP to above and even
Oh,
higher.
nice.
And then you had 6 minutes
Like a build.
it was a build, yeah, and then 6 minutes at 160 watts. So again, it's kind of like, it's not easy, that 160 watts, but it's not super hard. It's enough. In fact, I was actually sitting at around, my heart rate was around 130 to 140 for the offs, which is, for me, that's where it would be at the moment for an easy run. So that's the kind of intensity. And then my heart rate was basically anywhere from what it would be from a tempo run up to a kind of lactate threshold run. So it was, and that was fun. That's my bread and butter. I can do that kind of stuff all day. And I came off the back of that feeling like fit, feeling pretty strong. So
Yeah, good man.
a good week of training, mate. And Yeah, just
I think it's good when your heart rate starts responding that way on the bike, because it's a sign that you're getting more bike fit
100%.
when you're starting to see those higher heart rates on the bike. Whereas when you jump on the bike for the first and you start comparing like heart rate to your running heart rate, you'd be like, I'm working really hard here, but my heart rate's not that high
Exactly. Yeah,
because
yeah.
you
The
just don't have
legs.
bike legs yet.
Yeah.
So that's really good sign that you're getting bike fit, and there's no question that'll be feeding into your overall fitness. So when you actually do get back to some like races and running, I think that's only going to benefit you, to be honest.
100%. Yeah, and
So yeah, that's
I'm
great.
glad I've got there as well. Like, because rarely do I see. It was only when I was doing like massive like climbs that I was seeing my heart rate get to those 160s. And to be honest, the highest I've seen my heart rate in the last forever was actually on a cycling climb, like not even racing a 5K. It was on a climb where you're putting out kind of like 4, maybe even 5 watts per kilo. That's the highest my
That's
heart
when
rate has
you've
felt.
seen the highest heart rate.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Would you ever consider triathlon?
Swimming, mate. That's no good. That's no good. I'd sink, brother. I can
Yeah, well,
swim.
that's the conversation we had last week, isn't it? I still haven't got in the pool.
I'd love to
So
because
I'd like to
like
make that happen. I'm gonna make myself accountable between
mm,
now and next week's episode. I'm gonna be
to
in the
get in
pool.
do it. And you know what? I will. It's not a definite because I'm not even sure where. Actually, no, I think I've got pools nearby, and I just, you know what? I'd like to say I'd go, but I'd just be so trying to swim. I'd be there doing like a
So
dog
what?
uncoordinated. Is that not
I've never heard that.
Aussie term? They love it. Unco.
But mate, you have to. It's good to embarrass yourself every now and then.
Ah, but is it? Is it
Yeah, it
really?
is. I
All
feel
right,
like it
maybe.
is.
I've got a pair of Star
Keeps
Wars.
you keeps the bite in the old dog. You know.
True, it keeps you humble as well. I do have a pair of Star Wars swimming trunks that I wear if I ever go sauna. So I'd have to. What are you laughing for?
Just laughing at you, mate.
It's fine.
I've actually been in the sauna a fair bit over the last couple of weeks. That's been part of my not daily routine, but definitely been getting in there probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah, nice. I reckon that's the perfect amount, so it doesn't like lose its efficacy
It's
if you do it
also
every day.
been, as I say, getting colder, so
It's a bit nicer.
it's lovely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's lovely.
That
So relaxing.
If you ever do contrast and you've come out of like an ice bath and then you get, mate, hear me out, just do it one
No,
time where you
I've done it.
oh
But I was just going to say that where I use the sauna, they don't have cold plunge.
mate.
So you can't really do it. They do have a cold shower, but I don't like a cold shower. I'm just being fussy now.
Yeah.
I like getting into just the cold water. And
Yeah.
then once you go from that back to sauna, you're right. It feels amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. That is saunas are the best, man. Um but yeah, that's a week of training. I think we've actually done very well to basically round off an hour without chatting too much about football, but there's still time. No, I won't go into it too much, but I feel like you're looking something up. Are you going to give us something before we
I was going to try to see could I get my total training hours, but I
Mm,
can't because I don't wear a watch at football training.
true.
So I take it off. We also like we went out for a walk last night, and I didn't have my watch on, so I'm not actually recording everything. But I think I'm still doing like a fair amount of hours because I just really enjoy being active. Um, just without the kind of like the structure or the fatigue of high mileage.
Yeah. If you had to
From it,
estimate, if you had to estimate hours,
I'd say I'm probably doing like 10 to 12 hours of total activity a week. Probably more actually, mate, because like,
is that
oh, I
including
don't know.
walking?
Yeah, it's including walking.
See, I'll be honest with you, mate. Like, I reckon outside of walking, I probably do 10 to 11. And then because I've got I make a walking desk at work, I'm doing probably 12,000 steps a day.
Wow. Whilst
I,
working?
yeah, yeah. Because I find it I'm so used to it now. I've been doing this for about a year. I find it really hard to work sitting down. I don't. First thing I do when I get to work is I set up the walking desk on one of the treadmills, and I just walk at like I go quite fast, but then I drop it down and just cruise at like a 3.5K per hour,
Fair play to you, mate.
And mate, it feels so good. Like
Mm.
I feel like I'm clear headed.
Yeah, good on you. She said, I'm not
Um,
doing that.
there you
But
go.
I would say if I include like walking, I include the gym stuff, like
Hmm.
the banded work and the prehab work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm still doing a lot of hours just because I actually just enjoy being active. Because the first like week of sort of not running or not having a structured goal, I was like, oh no, why should I do something this morning? But now I'm like, I do something in the morning or I do something just because I actually enjoy it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
definitely makes me feel better. So yeah, that's where we're at with it all. But I
Beautiful.
can't see. I should probably try to maybe next week. I'll try to look at how many total hours I'm doing. But then that's why I'm kind of not recording everything because I want away from the structure.
It doesn't even matter, frankly.
It doesn't matter. No, it
Yeah,
absolutely doesn't matter. So why should I why should I total up the amount of hours and the amount of minutes?
100%.
Because like you said, it does not matter. Anagmore, there's a race locally here called the Anagmore. They have an 18-mile race, which is like a 3/4 marathon, which I did last year just for fun. That's this weekend on Saturday. If
Hmm.
that were Sunday, I'd have went and done that, just as an easy run.
Yep.
But yeah, we have a game Saturday, so
Mm.
I'll not be doing that. And just for reference, our team has actually won 5 from 5, so we're sitting top of the league.
You're doing a Liverpool.
Currently top of the league, which is great. So that makes it even harder to break into that starting 11 because
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't
uh,
fix it.
they're winning.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm enjoying it.
Hey, at least you could be on the side that gets medals come the end of the year. Just
Fingers crossed.
get enough minutes, mate.
Well, hopefully they can get promoted. Hopefully they can keep going the way. Hopefully we can keep going the way we're going and potentially get promoted. Because if we get promoted and the way it works here, it's when you go through the levels, you have to meet certain requirements in terms of like your setup, your home pitch. So if we were to get promoted, we have to meet a certain criteria. Like the pitch has to be of a certain standard. There has to be like a surround around the pitch.
Yeah.
So they would probably have to do like a pitch share with a bigger club, which a lot of the clubs that do when they move up. So that would be really cool to see them get promoted to what's called Intermediate B.
Mhm.
But then there's quite a ways to go, and it is a pretty competitive league. It's one of those leagues. It's quite tough to get promoted from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So see how we go. But so far so good. 5 from 5. Hopefully we can continue that this weekend with another 3 points.
Top man, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I need you promoted so we can get some game footage as well, and I can like broadcast it or something. That'd be fantastic.
What's your plans for the weekend?
Tomorrow, nothing. Saturday, and then Sunday, I'm being an idiot and getting tattooed again, which actually might disrupt my training next week because I'm getting work done on my legs. It's just kind of like
Class.
an ever ongoing project where every so often I get the balls to go and get tattooed because it's pretty painful.
Do you use the same tattoo artist every time?
For this, yes. So no, I've been to a lot of different artists, but this particular leg, I've been going to one guy, and I will not let anyone else go near it. Like I've got a really good relationship with him now, and it's
I
a
kind of want to. I kind of
oh,
want to get a chat to you about tattoos at some
mm.
stage because I want more.
Have you got one? Have you got one?
I've got 2.
Nice, man. What have you
I'll
got?
show you.
Fuck.
I'll show you them. I'll show you them off camera. No.
Yes.
I have a sentimental piece on the back of my left arm,
Yeah.
and then I have the least sentimental piece on the back of my right arm, which I got for free in Boston.
Nice.
So
this Boston, where
yeah,
you went,
but
mate.
yeah,
That is fantastic.
Not tell you about that. No,
Nah, bro.
on running had a pop up, and they were doing free tattoos, and they had a book, or they had a page
Flash
with
yeah.
like 20 designs, and you just pick one, and there was like 5 artists doing them, and I just picked one, and it's just a completely random design that I really liked, and it's just
Mate.
small on the back of my right arm, so I've got 2, but I'd like more. I don't want to be covered,
Yeah.
but I would definitely like some more
Nah, don't get covered. It's not worth it, man. It's shit. But yeah, we'll talk about that off air. But yeah, that's literally my Sunday. So I'm not really looking forward to that. I think getting tattooed loses its novelty after you've been doing it for a couple of years now. I've been getting tattooed for 12 years
Why do you get them?
because I that's a great question, and we could do a whole podcast episode on this. I think initially I did it because I liked how they looked. Like I listened to a certain type of music and everyone had tattoos, and I was like, yeah, I want tattoos. And then it becomes you actually like I prefer myself and feel more comfortable with tattoos. And then it becomes a project where you're kind of like curating or collecting them. And it's now like all I see is empty space. I see it as like, okay, I can put something there, right? And that you just feel more and more like, man, this is a project I want to finish. But I think the key is like I just feel more myself the more I get tattooed. It's a very weird thing, and I think you could probably only experience it if you're heavily tattooed and someone that is
Because
not
you
like.
are heavily tattooed, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty like again. I see a lot of space, but I think to the ordinary person, I'm like pretty extensively covered. Um, but there's levels to getting tattooed. I think there's people that typically are like, well, all my tattoos have to mean something, and I have to think real deep. Whereas for me, I literally just I message my artist and go, "Do you want to do this space? Like, just do what you want, put what you want there. Like, I'm happy for you to just fill the gap." And I just don't care. I just love the artist. I love art. I've got like really strong feelings about art. So I think it
Fair play.
probably is somewhat related. But look, guys, I think we might have to leave it there. My
It's quite a
little
deep
one,
question to finish, wasn't it?
it
Why do
is.
you do it?
Well, I'll fucking love it, frankly, because it's something I feel strongly about. But my 2-year-old is about to come crashing through my doors, so in order to not let this podcast take a turn for the worse, I think we're going to leave it there. But guys, thanks for sticking with us. I feel like we've spoken about absolutely everything today, and it's been a
I
hell of a
know.
ride. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. Good luck to anyone racing this coming weekend. Obviously, this is posted on a Wednesday, so the coming weekend. And well done to anyone who raced this weekend past.
Yes. And a big shout out, sorry, to all of my clients that raced in Belfast. We had some brilliant results. And also Berlin. And we also had a guy doing another big crazy event in the mountains. So fair play to all those guys that raced and ran PB. Sorry, I just wanted to shout that out.
No, for sure. Well done indeed, guys. And we will be back as always next week. Thank you again, and take care. Bye bye.